Torts spoke on Atkinson, and Atkinson spoke as well today.
Yes.
He's obviously, we know the history of these two goes back to Columbus. He scored 40 goals for Tortorella.
There's a lot of mutual fondness there between the two.
He is one of the Torts guys.
Yes.
So take us through Torts talking about Atkinson first.
So Torts basically said, look, I mean, he wasn't willing to give an explanation after the game as to why. He more just said, the players know. That's all that matters to me. Today, he went into a little bit more detail, and he more or less said, look, Atkinson hasn't been scoring goals, and that's his job, but it goes beyond that. And this was the quote that I thought was a really interesting one. He said, I have too much respect for him to let him to continue to go down the road he was going. And
that's as damning as you're going to get out of, especially for one of his guys.
That basically, I was seeing his entire game fall apart, and Atkinson probably getting frustrated and letting his details slip, and Torts was just like, I can't let that stand. And Torts more or less said, look, I gave him a longer leash than I would have otherwise because Atkinson missed all of last season. This was just a bridge too far. And my guess the bridge too far was that incredibly stupid penalty that he took at the end of the second period against Edmonton.
Because that's what, like, Atkinson, when this slump started, it was like 4 or 5 games in a row where he had at least one breakaway and just didn't score. And it was like, well, this is going to even itself out. This guy scores goals. He's still putting himself in position. They're just not going in. And then it was like, oh, he's reaching a lot with his stick. He's doing, like, he was taking penalties. There's, I think, like, 5 penalties in 4 games or something he took. It was just getting to the point where the rest of his game was going down, and that's what Torts acknowledges there. I fully see that. And I don't have a problem with the scratchings, especially of Cam Atkinson, because he has been bad. And I do think that sends him at, like, you scratch Morgan Frost, no one in that locker room is going to bat an eye because it's the 11th
I'm sure they
time.
knew it happened.
It's the 11th time this year, and we're not halfway through the season yet. Like, oh, yeah, makes sense. Like, when it's Cam Atkinson, everyone's going to look around and go, oh, shit, that's his buddy. Like, they go to dinner, you know? Like, so I get that message sending. It's just the fact that you decided not to replace him. That's what frustrates me.
Yes.
But Cam Atkinson, you got to talk to him as well.
Yeah, and Atkinson, I mean, we can say that a guy says all the right things, and generally speaking, guys do. Atkinson really, I would say, said all the right things in that he didn't even, like, when we've interviewed guys like Joel Farabee, or Travis Sanheim, and I'm not saying they did anything wrong here, but, Kevin Hayes last year, they would be like, yeah, I disagree with the decision, but he's the coach, I'm the player, and, I just have to live with it, and I have to, push through and deal with it and be a better player. Cam Atkinson straight up said, I deserve to be scratched. His quote was, I take full ownership of the scratching and deservedly so. I got to get back to playing with my energy and demanding the puck and wanting the puck. I've kind of let that slide, hoping that things would come my way, and obviously they haven't. So this is exactly why John Tortorella likes Cam Atkinson so much as a person, because this is catnip for John Tortorella. Yeah. Like, come on. This is music to his ears. This is exactly what he wants a player to say after being scratched, is that it was totally my fault. The coach was right.